welcome to the Nevada Human Resources Management System, a system that provides your company with the capability to manage and administer the complete employee life cycle for your human resources organization. There are 4 core modules within the Human Resources Management System: applicant tracking, employee appraisal, work schedule and time management, and the Human Resources Management System administration. In this demonstration, we will focus on the employee appraisal process of Human Resources Management System. Unlike more generic employee evaluation systems, our HRMS provides the capability to evaluate an employee's performance based upon their specific job duties. We likewise provide the capability for the organization to create customized assignments and trainings for each of their employees. The combination of the evaluation based upon the performance of specific job duties, together with customized assignments and training, provides both an objective and a defensible appraisal process for the organization. As mentioned in an earlier slide, the HRMS has an administration module which provides the organization the capability to configure the system to meet their specific needs and requirements. An example of such a configuration option would be the decision by the organization to set either a 3-phase or a 1-phase approval process for appraisals. The 1-phase process being an appraisal which only requires a manager completing the final appraisal for their employee, whereas a 3-phase process includes a manager's pre-appraisal, the employee conducting their own self-evaluation, and a manager having the final appraisal completed. As with other user-based modules of the HRMS, the administration module provides the organization the capability to configure the appraisal process to meet their specific requirements. We will discuss several of these options in the following slides. The first option within the Appraisal tab would be the Display option, whereby you can add or delete appraisal names. The organization can create appraisal names based on department, based upon job position, or have a default appraisal template for all company employees. In our example, we have appraisal names for customer service and sales, together with a default appraisal template. Should the organization wish to add a 4th appraisal name to the templates available, they would simply enter the name in the Add Appraisal Name box and select Add Appraisal. It is important to note that each appraisal name will have its own set of attributes specific to that appraisal name. By selecting the appraisal name, customer service, the system will display the attributes associated with that appraisal name. Each appraisal name is then subdivided into 3 specific views: the main view, which is a template for the appraisal, the report view, which is the format of the appraisal sent to the employee, and a details view, which is a report for the supervisor. By selecting main view, all possible fields that can be included on the appraisal name of customer service are displayed. By simply selecting yes or no to include or not include fields on the appraisal template, or by entering the applicable text into the pre-formatted text boxes, the organization can configure the appraisal template for customer service. The fields on this display are self-explanatory. There are several fields, however, that need to be discussed in more detail. The first of these fields is a field entitled Bulk Appraisal Capability. This option provides the capability to automatically create a date-specific appraisal template for every employee within the organization who will be using the customer service appraisal template. If yes is selected in the display field entitled Bulk Appraisal Capability, the HRMS administrative staff member responsible for appraisal management would enter the specific date by which the appraisal template customer service for those employees using a template for the appraisals will be identified. The second field which requires further discussion is the field entitled Only Require Manager Approval. This option determines if the appraisal process will be a one-phase process, whereby only the appraising manager evaluates the employee, or a three-phase process in which the appraising manager completes a preliminary appraisal of the employee. This preliminary appraisal is then emailed to the employee for their review, comments and rating. When completed, the employee review appraisal is sent back to the appraising manager for final review and evaluation. If yes is selected for this option, a one-phase evaluation process will be used by the HRMS for the selected appraisal name, in this case customer service. As mentioned earlier in this presentation, each specific appraisal name may have its own set of attributes. For example, customer service may have a three-phase appraisal process. Sales may have a one-phase appraisal process. The final topic discussed for the administration module for the appraisal process will be the assignment of ratings to be used during the appraisal. The organization can create a set of ratings applicable to their organization by selecting the Add Ratings tab. For each rating to be added, a rating name is entered, a numerical equivalent to that rating name is then entered, and also a general description of the rating. For this demonstration, we have previously added the appraisal names as identified on the screen. Now that we have completed our discussion on the appraisal template, we will begin our discussion on the actual appraisal process. The online appraisal form is created in the administration module of the Human Resources Management System. The actual appraisal is completed on the organization's homepage. For this demonstration, we will use the one-phase appraisal process whereby the supervisor will be the only one rating the employee. There will be no employee self-rating. The appraisal form for the employee is identified by the employee name and the employee appraisal date. There can be multiple employee appraisal dates within the system, those dates being either individually entered or through the bulk appraisal date option. For our demonstration, we will be entering a specific appraisal date for a specific employee. For demonstration purposes, we have selected the employee test 1, their manager is a test 4, and the appraisal date will be the 20th of October 2014. Our first step is to add an employee appraisal for test 1. By selecting Add Appraisals, the following screen will be displayed. We then enter the next appraisal date of the 20th of October 2014. Using the drop-down box for the appraisal name, we see the three templates available for appraisals which we discussed earlier. Since Employee Test 1 is in the Customer Services department, we'll use a template entitled Customer Service. By selecting Add Appraisal, the appraisal template Customer Service for the 20th of October 2014 for Employee Test 1 will be added to the system with the confirmation displayed on the following screen. This display confirms that the employee appraisal for Test 1 for the 20th of October 2014 has been added. In addition to the confirmation that the appraisal has been added, this display also provides the opportunity for the appraising manager to create an assignment for Test 1 before the appraisal process is initiated, where the appraising manager can create the assignment during the appraisal process. To create an assignment before the appraisal process is rarely used, since such assignments are normally based upon the strengths, needs, and strategies, which are identified during the evaluation. For illustration purposes only, we have displayed the drop-down values for the various assignment types. In our demonstration, we will not create an assignment for Test 1 before the appraisal process, but will do so during the appraisal process with the manager. With the creation of this employee appraisal template for Test 1, we are now ready to initiate the appraisal process. Now that we have completed the appraisal template for Test 1, we will navigate to the organization's homepage to actually conduct the appraisal for Test 1. This is an example of an organization's human resources homepage, which would be created with your implementation of the human resources management system. In addition to the employee appraisal tab, which we will be using in this demonstration, the human resources homepage likewise contains various tabs for communications, calendar events, and forms, which would be beneficial to enhancing communications throughout the organization. The appraisal process for Test 1 begins with the supervisor, in our example Test 4, logging into the Human Resources homepage. The supervisor would then select the Appraisal Employee tab, entering first name, last name, and their password, and then selecting Sign On. I might add that the organization will have full control for the administration of passwords for their employees. This is the employee homepage for Test 4. Using the drop-down box entitled Employee Name lists all employees who report to Test 4. Since we will be conducting an appraisal for Test 1, we will select Test 1 and the employee name. Select the tab entitled Select the Employee and the following display is presented. Please note that the appraisal date of the 20th of October 2014 for Test 1 is displayed. The manager would then select the appraisal date of the 20th of October 2014 to display the employee appraisal template for Test 1. The organization can select whatever name they would like for their appraisal template. In our example, we use the Individual Peak Performance Plan. The first section of the appraisal template contains information regarding the company mission, other attributes associated with the organization, all of which are created by the organization in the administration module discussed earlier. In addition to the mission statement, there are text boxes to enter the mission statement of the department, together with the role the employee's job position is to support this mission statement. There is also a text box to enter any activities for training assigned to the employee as a result of the appraisal. The core component of the appraisal process is evaluating the employee's performance against the job duties associated with the job position held by the employee. This information is pre-populated in the appraisal by the Human Resources Management System, thereby making an appraisal very specific to the employee and their job duties rather than a generic appraisal template that applies to all employees. In our example, Test 1 has 4 specific job duties assigned to his job position. Within each job duty, the supervisor would select the link entitled Add Strengths, Needs, and Strategies to start the process of evaluating the employee on that specific job duty. We will select the link Add Strengths, Needs, and Strategies for the first job duty entitled Complete Billing Worksheet for any service under a service level agreement. The following screen is then displayed. The manager can enter comments in the Strengths, Needs, and Strategies free text boxes and also add comments regarding the job duty. The manager would likewise apply a rating for the job duty as displayed on the following screen. For this first job duty, the manager has assigned a rating of Basic Contributor. Please note there is a link entitled Ratings Detail to display the rating with its numerical equivalent. By selecting this link, the following screen is displayed. This table provides the rating, the points awarded for each rating, and clarifying comments on when that rating should be used. As we discussed earlier in the administration module, these ratings, their numerical equivalents, and their associated comments, are fully controlled by the Human Resources Organization. To return to the appraisal template, simply select Close Window. As we discussed, we have assigned a rating of Basic Contributor for this first job duty. For the first 3 job duties, we will just provide a rating without any strengths, needs, or strategies being identified. By selecting Submit Information for this first job duty, the following screen is displayed. Although the entire appraisal template will be displayed on the screen, we will focus on that area of the appraisal template dealing with job duties and evaluations. Please note that once the job duty evaluation has been completed, it is moved to the bottom of the list of job duties, showing the status of the job duty evaluation being completed, the date it was completed, and since this is a one-phase approval process whereby just the manager provides the approval, it is shown as being approved. If we were operating under a 3-phase approval process, the status of management approval would be pending, since the employee has not been given the opportunity to evaluate themselves, nor has it been submitted for final management approval. We will now complete the ratings only approval for job duties 2 and 3. For this last job duty, which is to provide a time estimate when customer issues should be resolved and monitor, an update is required, we will add strengths, needs, and strategies. Selecting Add Strengths, Needs, and Strategies for this last job duty results in the following screen being displayed. We will add text into each of the 3 boxes: Strengths, Needs, and Strategies, and rate the employee as shown in the next display. By selecting Submit Information, the strengths, needs, and strategies, together with the overall rating for this job duty, is entered onto the appraisal template. The system then automatically returns to the appraisal template main screen. Upon returning to the main screen, the manager would select Add Appraisal Specific Assignments. The specific assignment being to attend a time management class as indicated in the Strategies text box on the appraisal template. Selecting Add Appraisal Specific Assignments results in the following display. Select Personal Development from the drop-down box and select Add Assignment. Select Enter to New Assignment. The manager would enter assignment name, which would be Attend Time Management Class. The manager would also enter the date span required for the employee to attend this class. The manager has the option to indicate notification warnings to both the employee and the manager for 3 separate days before the required completion date. In our example, we will use 15, 10 and 5 for each notification option. For information purposes, the manager enters a comment that employee is to schedule this class. The manager would then select Add Assignment and then select Back to Appraisal Information in the upper left-hand corner. Please note the appraisal specific assignment to attend a time management class is documented on the appraisal together with the time frame in which the class must be attended. The appraisal is now complete. The manager can view the details of the appraisal by selecting View Summary Report. This display reflects the appraisal-specific assignment of attending a time management class together with the first job duty which has been evaluated. Continuing with this report, this display reflects the other 3 job duties that have been evaluated. If there are no changes to the report, the manager would then send the report to the employee by selecting Email Summary Report at the bottom of the display. By selecting Send Email, the summary report will be sent to the employee. The manager would select Back to Summary Report, and then Back to Appraisal Information. Based on the email sent to the employee by the manager, the next step would be a meeting between the manager and the employee to review the appraisal, perhaps even making changes to the appraisal. Once this process is completed, the supervisor would log back onto the system and select the option to finalize the appraisal. Once finalized, no changes can be made to the appraisal. Note that once the appraisal is finalized, the Finalize Appraisal option is removed from the screen. This concludes the demonstration of the Work Scheduling Employee Appraisal module within the Human Resources Management Administration System. Should you have any questions about this demonstration, please contact your local account representative, or you may email Taylor@novata.com as shown on the screen. We will then forward this information to your local account representative. Thank you for your interest in our Employee Appraisal module.